Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the After Whistle podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Agundis,
I'm Casey Pechtel.
and we have our guest. I don't know how third guest of the year, fourth guest of the year, Aiden Lucia. Aiden,
What's
how you
going
doing?
on?
Uh,
Fantastic.
well, since we've been asking all of our guests this, I guess I'll ask you. Oh no, I broke my pen. Um, how many years have you been playing fantasy football, and how many leagues are you in this year?
Oh, I've been playing fantasy football for this would be my fifth season, but third consecutive season in a row, if that makes sense. I did two when I was in high school that were kind of like eh. And
Yeah.
then but third season in a row right now, I am in three fantasy leagues and a pick'em league.
Okay.
And it was rough actually. On Monday, I had a little pickle with Kamara and Kareem Hunt where I had two games that came down to the wire. And in one league, I had Kamara and I was playing against Hunt, and the other league, vice versa. And I ended up losing one of those. So that was rad. That was not a fun watch.
You want to hear my pickle that I was in on
What's
Monday?
going on? What's your pickle?
All right. So I'm playing our boy Jeff Montague in the Dirty
Hmm.
Dogs Fantasy League. Going into Monday night, he's up 0.12.
Mm.
And I'm thinking, yeah, we're good. I got the Saints kicker, right?
Yeah.
No, I lost
Yeah.
That's crazy.
because of a missed extra point. And I was watching the game with one of my family or one of the like friends from Fresno that's here, is the punter, backup punter for ASU.
Oh, nice.
And I walked out. I was at his apartment. I walked out the door and I said, "I'm mad at your position grouping," and I left. I was so mad. I didn't even stay for the rest of the game. Like dude, it was rough. I had two glasses of Black Label that night, and I
Yeah.
was not happy at
Yeah.
all.
That one hurts.
That's
Yeah. So
brutal.
yeah, I'm 2-3 in that league, but I should be 3-2.
I
Awesome.
still hate Tony Pollard for 2 weeks ago. They went for it on fourth down after
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
Dolphins got the safety, and that Tony Pollard touchdown handed me the loss.
Bad beats, man.
That
Bad beats.
that one's rough. I'm not even gonna lie though. I was a benefactor of someone getting screwed where it was week one and I am playing against I believe it was Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, and then
Uh-oh.
I had Debo. And obviously, we know Brandon Ayuk hasn't really done anything in his first few weeks because he decided he wanted to throw a fit. And then for whatever reason, George Kittle wasn't getting the ball. So I made a crazy, crazy comeback and ended up winning by like a point.
That's
And
crazy.
that
Nice.
was fun. I was down a lot and I was still like talking smack a little bit. And I was like, oh, don't worry, like Debo's gonna go off. Like, watch it happen. He didn't really go off, but Kittle and Ayuk just didn't do anything.
Yeah, nothing at
So
all.
it worked out.
There you go.
Nice. All right. Well, there's baseball playoffs on. We can get into that a little bit. I mean, whoever said not to let the Tigers get hot was right.
Yeah,
Tigers are hot.
yeah. Tigers are rolling. Their pitching. Their pitching has been lethal. Scooble's the best pitcher in the whole playoffs right now, and I don't think it's even close. Like when
Yeah.
he pitches, they can win 1-0 ball games.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, they beat the Guardians if they win the series, and it'd be Yankees Royals. I would worry about their bats a little bit, but if their pitching can hold up like that, they're a tough team to beat.
Yeah. Mets are hot too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how about the Mets, baby?
Mets are hot.
Mets been
Phillies
in
are
the
in
playoffs hot.
trouble.
Mets have been hot for a while, whole second half of the season.
Mets
Yeah.
have been real hot. Yeah. No, I don't even want to talk about the other game. Yeah. Uh, Mets are hot. I just, I was telling you guys before this, I don't like having a bye when your team has a bye. I think you lose your momentum going in the playoffs on games that you got to win.
Yeah, I think it'd be different for the Dodgers if all their pitchers were healthy,
Yeah.
but they just really need their bats to pick it up if they want to not get sent home.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think they're gonna get sent home either way. But I don't have
It's
confidence.
my favorite part of the playoffs, man. As a
I
Giants
don't have
fan, I
confidence at
love it.
all.
This is my World Series.
I mean, my Monday night this week has been terrible for me, by the way. Monday night I lose by 0.12, and then last night just chaos, and the Padres are up 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the minute of baseball. Um, Last week football, a lot of upsets, a lot of upsets. Alabama goes down. Who else went down?
Thrilling game.
Mizzou went
Alabama,
down.
Tennessee, Mizzou, and oh my God, who am I missing? USC went down.
Michigan.
USC,
Uh,
Michigan.
Michigan, although I always kind of thought they were fraudulent this season.
Yeah,
That one, I was like, yeah, not surprised that
Yeah.
this came down to it. UNLV,
UNLV lost. Yeah, good,
yeah,
good.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
yeah,
Tennessee.
Tennessee. That was a weird one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
weird
a
week
lot.
college football,
It
but
was
Was it a
it was
weird week in
cool.
the pros too? I mean,
Jags
Flacco,
got their win.
Flacco's elite though. I don't care.
Flacco's always elite.
I know they don't. They lost, but Flacco's elite. I mean, he threw for 303, like 360
Yeah,
or something like
Yeah.
that. That's elite.
it's cool to see these old guys kind of getting back into it a little bit.
Andy
They
Dalton.
got some time to sit. Yeah, Andy Dalton shoulders are a little warmed up now. They're getting hot. I saw a thing where it's like now that there's the whole like Mel Kiper fan the cover too, but that's what like these older quarterbacks played against their entire careers,
Yeah,
and that's
they
why
know
they're
what they're
just coming in
doing.
and tearing it up. It's
Yeah, yeah. I saw the Gridiron Heights video that came out today or yesterday.
yeah,
Is the best Gridiron Heights video I've ever seen. It's amazing. Did you see it, Casey?
I did not know.
You saw it, Aiden?
yeah, that was
X-Men
good.
97 is
Yeah,
good.
that one was
Black
cool. That one was
Black
cool.
Nito. Black Nito was cool.
Yeah.
No, that was good. Yeah, let's get into this week. Stardom Systems, Aiden, who you got your first start?
My stardom. Let me pull it up real quick. Actually, if someone wants to go into theirs.
Yeah, I'll lead it off. Big week last week. I'm juiced up about this guy, by the way. Big Kirko. Big Kirko wakes up dripping, y'all.
Big Kirko wakes up dripping.
Prime time. Prime time. Kirk Cousins threw for 500 yards.
And four
And
touchdowns.
Kirk Cousins went out there and shut down the prime time rumors.
He did.
He is going to torch Carolina. My only worry is similar to Jaden Daniels last week. If they beat him too bad, if they bench him, but I think he's going to torch him.
Dude, how about what it doesn't look like Kirk's having the most fun in Atlanta that you've seen in his
Oh,
career. Like, yeah, he was
No,
fun in Minnesota, but he's having fun in Atlanta.
yeah.
he likes to swag surf.
He
He loves
I've been
this.
listening to Swag Surf all week. It's great. Um, yeah, that's a good one. Aiden,
Uh, so I'm gonna get a little weird with this one, but I'm gonna say
like weird.
Chicago's defense.
Chicago defense against Jackson.
Chicago's defense against Jacksonville. I know Trevor Lawrence had his first win here in a while, but Chicago's defense is good. It is
Mhm.
very good. They are very solid. Their DBs are good. Their front seven's really tough. I think they're just going to kind of pick apart Jacksonville a little bit.
I
I don't really like Jacksonville coming off the win. I think they're gonna. I don't trust that team at all. I don't think their offense is good at all. Doug Peterson is obviously having a lot of problems with that locker room, and I think Chicago's just going to tear it apart, especially because Chicago's been gaining so much momentum with the development of Caleb Williams. Their offense is getting better and better every week. That defense is getting, staying off the field a little bit more. So they're just going to have that juice to keep going.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Pick
could
him up this
see
week.
maybe a couple turnovers this game. Um, the nice thing about defenses is they're pretty easy to pick up. So I would
Yeah,
go Chicago.
I'm right there with you. I streamed him this week.
Yeah. I'm actually streaming. I streamed him last week against Carolina, and then I'm keeping him in over the Jets D against Buffalo because I think Jets gonna lose that game. But
Hmm.
yeah, I like Chicago defense. Another guy actually, we just were talking about Flacco. Josh Downs is a must start. I think, for the rest of the time that Michael Pittman. I just saw a notification Michael Pittman might be out a few weeks.
Yeah,
I
just
think they're
got that
gonna.
one too.
It looks like they're gonna send him to IR.
Yeah. So Josh Downs is a must start. He is Flacco targets one guy usually. It was Amari Cooper last year with the Browns. It's Josh
Yeah,
Downs this year. What do you have? 9 catches for 60 yards last week.
something like that.
I
Yeah,
mean, and if he scores, that's a great day. So I like
yeah.
Josh Downs. Do you guys have any other ones? I have one more.
Yeah, I got one more. I got Goff against Dallas. Goff, a little bit of a slow start, but he played well last week. Caught a touchdown, or not last week, 2 weeks coming off the bye. Um, I think he's going to stay hot through the bye week. They're well prepared for Dallas. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Dallas's defense hasn't really been what we thought it would be. Um,
Mhm.
and I like this game to be a little bit of a shootout. I know they like to ride their run game, but I think Goff's going to, throw for a few touchdowns and have a good game in the air. Maybe catch one again. I don't know.
Maybe catch one.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Did you see that guy that like put the bet on Goff catching a touchdown that game, and he was like celebrating like crazy? And then someone on Twitter was like, "I don't care how cool this is and how much money you just won. It is a problem that you were betting on a quarterback to catch a like touchdown."
Well, I mean, hey, sometimes you look at your account and you see you got like 68 and $68.50 in there, and you're like, I don't like having something that's not
Yeah,
five or a zero. So I'm gonna put $3.50 on Goff catching a touchdown just to see if it hits. Or
yeah.
I bet last week was Antonio Gibson first touchdown. That didn't happen either. Um, but sometimes you gotta do it.
You might have a problem too, Jess. You
I
might be
might have
just
a problem. I might have a problem. I bet a $3 it was $3 parlay Antonio Gibson, Dantavian Wicks, both first touchdowns. Both plus 1,000. I would have won. It was $3 to win like 400.
Oh, okay. $3.
It's
Yeah.
$3. Didn't matter. Um yeah, Aiden, did you have another one or did you just go? I can't remember.
I have a stardom into a sit 'em. So if you want to start your stardom
Okay.
real quick.
I said to sit him last week. I was wrong. Chase Brown. He might be turned into a must start here. He's starting to get the ball more. Zach Moss might be out. I like starting both my guys because of injuries, but you gotta navigate the injuries. The injuries are tough this year.
Injuries are tough.
They're rough. I'm starting Trey Tucker as one of my receivers in a league. Granted, it's a three you
Yeah,
start three wide receivers, but still.
yeah. My stardom, I'm gonna go with Dalton Kincaid. With the news of the firing of Robert Salah, I do not think he was the problem in New York. And I think Buffalo is going to tear up that defense now that Salah is gone. And then that brings me to my sit-em. Any Jets player, Jets defense, any Jets player, I think it is a mess there right now. I think they need a couple of weeks to kind of get back on their feet and figure out what is going on in New York. Aaron Rodgers is a mad dictator right now. And it's ugly. It's ugly over there.
So you're saying like even the studs,
Even
even,
the studs,
even
dude.
the
It's
Brees Hall and Garrett Wilson. I know Brees hasn't been doing well.
I think Brees is a guy. Even if you have him, you drafted him. Like it sucks that he's not getting the ball and not doing great. But I feel like you still have to throw him out.
You have to. You have to.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what sucks?
I
If I
what
would have
sucks.
started, if I would have started Kareem Hunt and Chase Brown instead of Brees Hall and Najee Harris against Jeff, I would have won.
Mm, that hurts. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little worried about New York right now, especially that Nathaniel Hackett basically has full control over the offense again,
Oh,
and
that
it's
scares me so much.
yeah. I think this game's going to be ugly. I think Buffalo is going to blow out New York.
Okay. Seth doesn't want to hear that.
No.
Seth doesn't watch the podcast, so it doesn't matter. Um, yeah, sit him for me, Casey. You ever sit him?
I do. Yeah, I
Oh,
have Christian Kirk kind of piggybacking off of Aiden's Bears defense. The Bears D's been good. Um, and I don't know. They haven't allowed a touchdown to a slot receiver all year. And Jacksonville, sums up over there. It's not going great for him. I don't think this is the week for Kirk. Brian Thomas Jr. also, he's been tearing it up. He's their guy over there, and Kirk might get phased out a little bit. I don't know if their offense is good enough to have two productive receivers against a defense like the Bears.
I have a sit. He's a perpetual sit because even if he has a good matchup, he still barely gets 10 points, fantasy points. Is Najee Harris because he runs as fast as I do. I mean, come on, man. You were facing a wet blanket of a Cowboys defense, and you had
Yeah.
9 fantasy points. 9. Can't happen. You're done. You're sitting your ass on the bench. Sorry for cussing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one more sit him. I got Pickens. Um,
Bad attitude. I put
yeah,
him up on the
he's
trade
just
block
been super
right as he.
inconsistent. Like I understand this isn't like a must sit, but if you've got other options out there, like I'll talk later about my stream guy, I like him better than Pickens this week. Um, just because I think he'll be a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, I immediately put Pickens on the trade block when he did the stuff at the end of the game.
That
When
was crazy. Where he just like yanked the face mask and threw him to the ground.
he
Yeah.
yeah
That was wild.
threw him
But
on
that
trade
starts
block.
making,
I
I mean,
said,
we all knew that watching his draft. We knew
yeah,
it
we all knew that was gonna
Watching him get drafted.
to
happen. Yeah,
Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
a notoriously we do not care what our players do franchise in this century.
Yeah.
yeah. No. All right, streams this week. Who do we like? Who do we dislike?
I like Tolbert. Cooks to the IR. Tolbert had a big week. Um, Cowboys offense is it's the same as it's been last year, this year. Like maybe they haven't been the most productive team, but I still believe. Okay, and Tolbert balled out last week. I think he's gonna do it again this week.
I don't. The Commanders are going to win the division. Um, yeah. Aiden, I mean, your Bears D probably would go into Stream City.
Yeah. But I'll throw in I could say Romeo Dobbs. I know he had that weird situation in Green Bay where he took some personal time and then there was rumors that it was a suspension because he was unhappy about getting the ball. If that's true, I feel like this is going to kind of be a prove it game to kind of fight for his spot in the Packers offense. And I can see him getting a good amount of points, especially if you need to, put someone on. If you have a guy who's on a bye week or you had an IR issue and you just kind of need to throw somebody in.
Yeah, I like it. Wicks was having some pretty bad drops too.
Yeah.
I was all in on Wicks too.
Well, Wicks, the thing about him is he gets open, but yeah, he can't catch contested balls, and even the open balls, he was letting them loose.
The defenses I like streaming this week. I have actually three. Some of them are on rosters, I would think. Eagles are coming off a bye, so sometimes you can get a defense coming off a bye. Them against who are they playing?
Oh my God.
I don't even know who they're playing, but they're playing somebody bad. And then Denver or not Denver, the Chargers D against Denver. I think they'll
Mhm.
bring Bo Nix back down to earth. With a good defense, and then Texans D against New England. Drake May's starting, rookie quarterback might be a little scared out there. Not scared, but might take him
Yeah.
a few quarters to get going. I think he'll throw some picks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Texans starting this week in one league.
Yeah, Texans. I like Texans. Yeah.
Francisco Lindor,
I mean,
grand slam, 2 outs, 1-0 game, 2 outs in the sixth inning turned into a 4-1 game.
Dude,
And the Phillies,
if Shohei was still in the American League, Lindor would have won
oh,
MVP.
100%. 100%. I mean, that run
One of
that
my
he's had in
buddies,
the second half.
one of my buddies he's a Padres fan. He's in the Dirty Dogs group chat. He's like, you know, Lindor should still win MVP. I was like, he's not gonna beat Shohei's 59 season or whatever he had.
Yeah.
But good try. You know,
Yeah.
there should just
Yep.
be a Shohei Ohtani award. It's just like, all right, Shohei gets this one every year, but we'll give the MVPs to whoever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the guy's gonna win MVP every year. Crazy. Yeah,
Disgusting.
series though, we got to figure that out. Yeah, we'll go into what do we like? What do we do? Game picks.
Any picks?
Usually I have Scal here to give me Scal selections, but I don't have. We don't have any Scal selections.
All right.
Game picks. I got to look at them.
Ohio State at Oregon.
Well, let's
Ohio
talk
State
about this
minus
game.
four. Come
Minus
on,
four.
big game here.
Big game
Huge
here.
game.
Aiden, why don't you explain to the viewers what we're doing here? Where you're going this weekend?
So tomorrow, I will be hopping on a plane and flying into Eugene. I will be in Eugene all weekend, college game day. It's going to be electric. It always is at the University of Oregon. People there like to get rowdy especially for big football games. I checked the weather. It's going to be beautiful football weather. 4:30 game. It's going to be like 72 degrees at the start, fall down into like the 60s, maybe the 50s, depending on the length of the game. Um, Not that it ever rains in Autzen Stadium. If you know, you know, but no projected rain. It's just going to be perfect. And it is everything. The stars have aligned to give us what should hopefully be one of the best games of the year. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. We talked about this a little bit before we started recording, but Ohio State's defense is just dominant. They're probably the best defense in the country right now. But Oregon's defense can really hang in there too with some of these offenses. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to come down to how or what Dillon Gabriel we get. Are we going to get the Dillon Gabriel that played against Oregon State and can torch people and do everything? Or are we going to get Dillon Gabriel that throws two interceptions and freaks out and tries to roll right, even though he's a lefty,
Dude, I
anytime he
saw
feels
that.
any
That was
pressure?
terrible.
Yeah, that Michigan State game. I mean, Oregon had that game the whole time. There was never really an issue after the first quarter, but some of those picks, you're sitting there thinking, what is he doing? Like this guy was a Heisman favorite at the start of the season, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I want to hear your guys' opinions on it. Um,
Dude, so I didn't watch much of that game because I was sweating the UNLV bet, but I
mhm.
watched, and the guy, I was like, he's rolling right. I was like, okay, he's rolling right, and I was like, why did he throw with his wrong hand? He threw the wrong hand. I forgot he was a lefty. Like for like a
Yeah,
split second, I was like, why'd he throw bad? That's the wrong hand, dude. What are you doing? You trying to be Patrick Mahomes? But no, I
yeah,
forgot he was a lefty, and he just, what are you doing?
yeah.
I was
Looking for that Heisman moment. I don't know.
you're not gonna get a
This could
Heisman
be it though,
moment.
right here.
Yeah, it's it was a bad decision. Oregon's offensive line has gotten better, but I mean, they showed issues at the start of the season. So, it really comes down to can Dan Lanning get these guys in that right mindset? I know Autzen is going to be rowdy. It is going to be loud. I will not have a voice probably by the end of the third quarter, and I will still have to figure it out. But
Yeah.
it's a fun. I think so. Last I had checked, the spread was at -4. That was a couple days ago. I don't know if it's changed at all. And then the over under was at 53.5. Do we have any updates on that?
So I saw it on FanDuel at 3.5, but then Murray sent it at 4.
Hmm.
So we'll just keep it at 4. I know FanDuel sometimes is a little. FanDuel doesn't do a lot of like. I've noticed that they don't do a lot of like even lines. Like there's always a half most of the time.
Yeah.
So 3.5, 4. I mean, we'll keep it at 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd have to say, like, definitely this is a game that I'm going to smash the under. I think this is going to be a slugfest. I think there's going to be a lot of dinking and dunking down the field. That's what Ohio State, as we've seen, can just dominate people with their running backs, with their short game, with the receivers. I mean, it's unfair how open these guys can get in such little space. But that's what Ohio State likes to do that. They like to develop these, show you that they can take the short stuff, and then every once in a while they'll take that deep shot on you, and usually it works out. Oregon, again, kind of struggling with the deep shots. Their receivers, like Tez Johnson and stuff, they're very good, but I wouldn't say, they're the best in the country by any means. So it's going to come down to, can Oregon grind this down, Ohio State's defense? Can they get past just this brick wall that Ohio State has been? Yeah, if it's gonna be a slugfest. It's gonna be good. I am going to take Oregon because I would feel criminal to not.
I think you have to.
But I definitely see the appeal of Ohio State here, a
Yeah.
100%.
Casey, who are you taking?
I'm taking Oregon as well. It would feel criminal for me to not take Oregon.
All right, I'll be Dr. Evil over here and I'll take Ohio State. As we know, my picks have been awful this year. Booker with Juice is going to take Ohio State though, -4.
Love to hear it.
Yeah,
Just for you guys. I'm taking one for the team here.
There you go.
appreciate it, Juice. Don't
Uh,
switch it up on us here now.
I won't. I won't. All right, next game. Penn State at USC. By the way, the guy that I just said that Lindor is the real MVP, he said he just texted us, said Lindor is the real MVP. Um, Penn State -5.5 on the road. What are they? Number 3 now in the country? 4?
They are number 4. Oregon is number 3.
That's right.
So
Yes.
it's Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State. So a lot of Big Ten love. Shout out to the SEC for the cannibalization. They're the new Pac-12.
They're just killing each other. All right, Aiden, let's keep it rolling with you. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take Penn State. I saw that interview that Brent Franklin did complaining about the travel, and because the plane ride is so large, they had to take an hour bus ride to go get on a bigger plane. It was dumb. But this isn't the kind of game that Penn State loses. Penn State loses to the big boys where there's pressure. Your Ohio States, your Michigans, now your Oregons. But USC has shown that they have flaws this year. It's another Lincoln Riley defense. Penn State, their defense again, very, very good. I would say probably you're looking at probably 2 or 3 in the Big Ten, just in terms of defense, and definitely a top 10 defense in the country. So yeah, give me Penn State all the way.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. I'm taking Penn State for all those exact same reasons. Nothing more explaining I can do. You covered it all.
All right. Well,
Joe, just take the free money here, man.
I
Don't
guess I'm gonna take the free money and take Penn State.
You got to give
Also,
yourself some easy ones to get back on track.
also, not a huge fan of Miller Moss. I was a receiver in my Road to Glory guy, and he wouldn't throw me the ball. So, and when he did, it wasn't a good pass. So, not a huge fan. Transferred from ASU to USC, and then yeah, had a worse season at USC. So, but then I transferred to Oregon, so that was all good. All right, next game. We're all in Penn State here. All right. Next game, Texas, the Red River rivalry against Oklahoma. Texas -14.5, the number 1 team in the country on the road. Aiden.
Ooh, this is a fun one. I 100% believe Oklahoma will cover. I honestly am 60-40 on Texas winning right now. I really think Oklahoma can, especially with the way things have been going. I believe this is Quinn Ewers' first game back. I think he's going to be going
Yeah.
this one and not Arch. So I could see Oklahoma winning this just as a big FU to Texas. This is a fun rivalry. Weird stuff happens all the time. But definitely, I'm going to take Texas to win for now. We'll watch the news and see if anything
Against
changes
the
in the next couple of
spread,
days.
you want
But
Oklahoma?
I guess the spread on Oklahoma money line, I would go Texas pretty confidently here.
Okay.
But I think this game, what was the over under at? Do we know? I got to assume it's got to be high 50s, low 60s.
Probably.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be up there.
I think no matter what, I'm going to smash the over.
Yeah.
I just think this game, it's the Red
But
River shootout, man.
50.5.
Oh, yeah. Give me that over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I think 14.5
It's a lot of points.
is a lot
It's a
of
lot.
points. It's
Oklahoma's
a
the
big
8th.
game, big rivalry there. I'm going to take the points with Oklahoma. plus 14 and a half. Might tease that with the over. Um, and that could be a fun game right there. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's going to be fun. Texas is a powerhouse. They've proven that, even without their starting QB. Not that Arch is bad or anything, but these rivalry games, man, they mean so much in college football, and I think this is just going to be a great game. I think it's going to be closer than 14 and a half.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take the 14. I'm gonna take Texas. Um, I I don't know. I don't want to just keep picking the same. So, to be honest, but I think Texas shows why they're the number one team in the nation this week in Oklahoma. Quinn Ewers back, smoke them. Even though I did just remember Aiden gave Baker the horns down.
So
He was
electric.
fired up
So
yeah,
electric.
at the celebrity golf tournament. That was probably the best, one of the best moments of the weekend.
I mean, hard to compete. That and the Josh Allen trade.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that and oh, you weren't with us when all of my friends started singing the Fresno State fight song in the middle of the bar at Harris,
Oh, it's so
middle
fun.
casino floor. They just started singing the Fresno State fight song. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
This is weird. I don't want to be a part of this. I walked over to CJ and I legit walked away. Um, but yeah, next game is Ole Miss at LSU. Ole Miss is minus 3.5. Coming off, they lost. No, they beat South Carolina last
Yeah,
week.
they lost 2 weeks ago.
Lost 2 weeks ago. Yes. So, what do we think?
Yeah, this is a weird one, and this one it's a coin flip for me. Um, but I think I'm going to take Ole Miss. I'm going to ride that hype train a little bit longer. I know they had that bad game. I'm not a huge fan of Jackson Dart, but I like what Lane Kiffin is doing with the program. Brian Kelly continues to really not take that next leap with LSU. So they're a very good SEC team, but they're not a team that I'm going to confidently pick. So give me Ole Miss -3.
Finally switching it up from Aiden here. I'm going to take LSU. I like LSU at home. Ole Miss has been shaky. Obviously, LSU has too. I think at home they come away with this one.
Is this a night game or a day game? I feel like that kind of matters here.
It
Let me
does.
see.
It's
Yeah,
such a
I gotta
loaded.
log in FanDuel every time
It's
I
a
log in. So
4:30.
It's a
It's
4:30.
yeah.
4:30 Eastern.
Well, let's see. Ohio State, Oregon's four. It says 4:32. So
I think when you Google it, it gives us Pacific Standard. It's like if you're on
Is it?
ESPN, then it gives you Eastern.
okay, I
It's
was
yeah.
looking at Caesars right there.
Hmm.
E I'm almost there.
So it'll be
4:30
4:30.
Mountain Standard
4:30
Time.
Pacific. Yeah, Pacific Standard Time.
Mountain Standard Time. I'm on Mountain Standard Time.
I don't know, Jim. I had to get that one out. But
I don't
yeah,
know, Jim.
I'm gonna stick with Ole Miss. I think this is gonna kind of be, I don't know. This is a prove it game for Lane Kiffin. This is a prove it game for Ole Miss. They've been so hyped all season. I don't like them, but I believe that they're gonna show up and they'll probably lose to like Georgia or something later. I don't know.
Give me Ole Miss. I'm taking Ole Miss.
Lone Wolf in it here, unless Murray rides with me.
Unless Murray rides with you. Oh, we gotta tell Murray to put his Murray's picks will be on in the comments like Casey did as well last week. All right, moving on to the NFL. We got 3 NFL games. Here we go. Let me get over there. Um,
Commanders at Ravens.
yep, thank you, Casey.
Ravens minus 6.5.
Yeah, give me the Commanders. I saw a stat where it's like I think so far, if it's been like a 6 point favorite in the NFL. I think only three teams haven't covered out of like 18 or something like that. It's ridiculous. Every time I see that, I take
NFL's
the underdog here.
been weird this year.
Yeah,
I'm also going to take the Commanders. I believe in Jaden Daniels. Like I said,
yeah.
Commanders are going to win the division. They win the East.
They have a very good path to do so.
Yeah, I'm riding with the Commanders here as well. Their offense is really good. Defense, I don't know. I feel like this is going to be kind of a high scoring game. But the Commanders, even if they don't win the ball game, I think 6.5 is a good number. Like you said, Aiden, not many teams are covering big spreads. So I like the points with the Commanders.
All right. Next game is Detroit at Dallas. Detroit minus 3.5. We all remember what happened last year. So does Detroit come in with a little bit of a vengeance, as to say?
I'm taking Detroit here. Road favorites, don't care. I'm taking Detroit. Dallas, it's weird. They're the same team as they were last year, but they're not the same like powerhouse team. They
The vibes are off.
It's because
not much changed.
Jerry's
Um,
terrible.
something's off with Dallas. I don't know what it is. Might be a coaching issue, might be a players issue.
Oh,
I
it
don't know.
might be a coaching issue.
I mean,
Might be a coaching issue.
hey, I
You're
went
a
through the
dumb idiot.
same deal. Okay, at least he won us the Super
Dumb
Bowl.
idiot.
But
Dumb idiot.
I'm taking Detroit with the points.
Yeah, I got to take Detroit here. I just Dallas's defense is so eh, you know.
Yeah.
I and Detroit just has so many weapons. It's unfair at this point. I mean, I mean, you have Jameer Gibbs, you have David Montgomery, Amon Ra, fucking Sam Laporta. It's gonna get
Jameson Williams
messy.
coming out this year playing well.
Yeah, I think Detroit's gonna win this game in the double digits.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Detroit. We are the same on every pick so far in the NFL.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, side note, because we're a Family Friendly podcast, I'm not going to say what I'm calling this list, but it's the Caca list. It's Joseph's Caca list. There's 5 people, 5 things that are on there. First of all, number 1A is UNLV because F UNLV.
Yeah.
1B is college football defense because there's barely any. 2 is MLB relievers. Don't like
Yeah. Oh God, the
They anger
bullpens
me.
have been.
They anger me. Number 3 is Nathaniel Hackett. Never liked the guy. He's a dumb nerd. Number 4 is Kyle Shanahan because he didn't what does he say?
He didn't
Because
run the ball.
what?
Didn't run the ball when he was on the three
No, no,
towards
no, no, no,
Mason,
no,
tried
no,
to
no,
throw it.
no. It's because he kept
Oh.
the McCaffrey stuff from us. That angered me.
Oh yeah, that sucked.
That angered me. And then McCarthy, because we all know why, because he's a dumb idiot.
Yeah.
Another big
Uh,
nerd.
He's a dumb nerd. Dumb nerd. All right, we'll move on to the next game. Monday Night Football. Bills at Jets. Jets just fired Robert Salah, as Aiden says.
Is it
Uh,
Sala?
it's
It's been a
Salah.
while since I cared about his name.
It's Salah.
Once he left San Francisco, I didn't
I
care.
like this. I like Salah though. It's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jets minus 2.5 in New York. I
That's
think we
Jets
might go. We
plus
might go 9 for 9.
It's Jets plus 2.5.
plus 2.5.
Yeah,
What did I
Bills
say?
minus 2.5.
I
You
said
said
Bills minus
Jets
2.5.
minus two and
You
a
said
half.
Jets minus 2.5.
I'm pretty
Bills
sure I said Bills, but we're okay.
On
There's a
the
lot
tape.
going on right now. There's a lot going on right now. I'm getting text out the wazoo.
All right,
All right.
here's the deal, Jess. I'm not riding with you on this one, okay? Ridden with you on too many picks so far. I'm
You don't
taking the
like
Jets.
this? You don't like
Hey,
You're flipping? Remember last time you flipped
Robert
not to
firing
take
is
me?
what they needed. Maybe that's what the Jets needed to get right, to figure it out.
Ugh.
Bills haven't looked all that great since the start of the season either, you know? So I'm taking the Jets here. New coaching, even though it's interim coach. I like the Jets. Rodgers is gonna figure it out.
See, here's the thing though, like when you have a coach get fired and then it's usually replaced with a staff that like the players really like. I
Mhm.
think Aaron Rodgers was the only person who didn't like Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
I think he was the only
Also,
one because Garrett will like he like rode for Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers didn't want to throw to him. And then, there was that big fight and all of a sudden Garrett Wilson got the ball this week. It's I think it's just a disaster. I think Aaron Rodgers is tearing that locker room apart, and I have to take the Bills as I went on my rant earlier. It's gross.
I also think this line is kind of a rat. I feel like the Bills should be heavier favorites over the Jets in this game. Two and
Yeah,
a half
it's weird.
points. The Jets have been playing awful against not that great. I mean, Vikings are good, but losing to the Broncos. And now they're playing the Bills. I get it. They're at home, but why are they only 2.5 point underdogs?
The
I
only
think,
argument I can make for that is the Jets defense has been so good
yeah.
for the last few years. But again, I think that was due to the coach, and now that coach is gone.
But
I'm
no,
calling
the
this a rat
defensive
line
coordinator.
because
It was the
The
defense.
defensive coordinator is still there, and he's the head coach. But I,
Yeah.
I just don't like. I don't like this. I don't think they're going to be as good.
Like it. I am also taking. I could do the funniest thing right now in case he's trying to avoid me picking the same, and I just picked the Jets, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to pick the Bills. Um, no, I think Kincaid finally figures it out, and Josh Allen starts throwing to him.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Khalil Shakur is going to be covered by Sauce. Like
I
He's
thought
going to get Dalton Kincaid the ball.
I thought Shakur's going to be out. I thought he had
Is
an
he?
out with his ankle.
Is he going to
I
start
saw.
it out? I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't like a high ankle sprain, so he might be out for a
he's
few weeks.
questionable right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is Casey's iPhone showing up?
My computer's about to die.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll just add him in here. Yeah, uh, I think the Bills win this game.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I wonder what the over under on this one is.
it's probably gross.
Yeah.
All right. Hot takes for the week, and then we'll get out of here. Aiden, do you have a hot take for this week? Could be in pro, could be in college.
Ooh, my hot take.
Did
I
Oregon?
kind of said it a little bit earlier, but I think the SEC is going to be the new Pac-12, where you're just going to have teams cannibalize each other. That conference is going to destroy itself. It's fun. My whole thing was I was a little worried with the conference realignment plus NIL plus transfer portal. But after this last Saturday, I think the only thing I still don't really love is NIL, but I think the conference realignment and the transfer portal have worked out great. You're seeing a lot more competitive games, and I think you're going to see a lot of issues in the SEC start to arise. And I think, obviously Georgia, Bama, still very, very good. Tennessee still very, very good, but not. People were kind of thinking that like you're going to see three, maybe four SEC teams in this playoff, and I think there might be two max.
Yeah.
Right?
I forgot to say this about Alabama getting upset. There's a curse that has bestowed anyone who's just Fresno State in general. It's followed DeBoer to Bama. It's where that you go win a big game. So you go win a huge game that Alabama did. They went and beat Georgia. Huge game. And then you lose on the road to a crumb bum team. Fresno State did that every year. They would get ranked. They'd go beat, when they beat UCLA, they went beat a UCLA. Oh, great, and then lost in Hawaii the next week.
Yeah.
It's a curse of Fresno State for you right there. That's why you never bet on or against Fresno State because you'll lose both somehow. You lose both. If you did that both, if you bet Fresno State and against Fresno State, you'd lose both.
So what's the hot take of the week, Jose?
Oh, that was just a rant that I was saying. My hot take
Oh.
is That wasn't a hot take. I was just saying.
I thought you were leading into the hot take. My
No,
bad.
no, I wasn't. I was leading off of Aiden's hot take.
Okay.
Yeah.
SEC. No, my hot take of the week is I um Chase Brown 2 touchdowns.
Ooh. Okay. I'm taking Oklahoma and the Commanders to win their games outright.
You gonna parlay that?
Absolutely not.
No, sprinkle like $3.33 on it.
Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Maybe you will.
You got you have do you have change in your account right now?
I
It's a good way
Yeah,
definitely.
to get back to even here,
yeah,
even
change.
five.
Yeah, change the yeah, do the change like 59 cents. Put 59 cents on the parlay. Win $2.
There we go.
All right. We'll see y'all next week. Hopefully Murray's back. He got his house, so that's why I missed, but that's huge for him. Congratulate him if you see him, to our 2 or 3 viewers. We'll see y'all next week. Aiden, have a great time at the game. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys will see some videos. It'll
Oh
be a
yeah,
blast.
it'll be electric. Awesome.
All right.
See y'all.
All right.